Thank you for joining us at Performance Product Technologies and allowing us the opportunity to earn your business. Today what we're going to cover is how to use the perfprotect.com website to find parts for your Mercury outboard or Mercruiser stern drive engine. And you'll start out here on the home page. You'll notice there's a section where you can either search by serial number or search by engine model. And in the first session here, what we're going to do is cover how to search by serial number. So if you'll just enter your serial number in this location and hit the go arrow, or you can just hit return, it will take you to any of the available models that meet that serial number criteria. In this case, we have a 5.7 two-barrel, so I'm going to select that model, and you'll notice first that in alphabetical order you have a different listing of the available engine models broken out. So if we were looking for an exhaust manifold, essentially you could click on that diagram, and then you'll notice here the colors are basically the legend that indicates what the parts represent, whether it's an OEM part, whether it's not available any longer, direct replacement, special order, or if you happen to search by a part number, then it would come up highlighted in yellow to make it easier to find. So basically whatever the part is that you need to order, you can basically look over here, get the reference ID. You'll notice the part number in this field, the name of the part, and then here's basically your history of part numbers that have changed over throughout the years. So if you have an old owner's manual, maybe that says your part number is 87114A8, you'll notice that that's changed over to an A19, and then the number's changed over several times and leads up to this being the current part that you would need to order. Then you have your retail pricing listed here, your discounted online price, and then the quantity used per engine. So you basically would enter your quantity into the field there, and then down at the bottom of the page you'll notice an add to cart button that basically loads the parts into your cart for you. Now if you can't tell from the illustration here what reference ID a particular part is that you're looking for, essentially you can hit the click for larger view. It'll take you down to the bottom of the page. You can find the ID, go back up, and just add it into your cart. It says there's 2 used per engine, so put 2, and then you can hit add to cart. In this case, I already had parts in the cart, so there will be different quantities that come in from what I put. It'll just add them to whatever existing quantities might have already been in there. Now from this point, if you want to get a shipping estimate, you could simply put in your zip code right here, click estimate, and it will tell you for what you have right now what the shipping estimates for the different options are. Now if you need to go back and shop for more exhaust parts, you can simply hit continue shopping, or if you want to go back to the main page that lists all the different diagrams, like if you wanted to order spark plugs or something of that nature, you can just hit your back arrow button up at the top of your browser and just click it enough times to get back to the main diagrams page. So in this case, if we click on distributor and ignition components, what I want to point out here is how the reference IDs work and what parts come with a particular component. So in this case, you'll notice that the first part is the distributor assembly complete, and anything that is indented from the part above it is included with the part above it. So in this case, if you ordered reference ID number 1, you would get parts 2 through 11 with that because they're all indented over from the one above it. If you ordered the distributor cap, which is reference ID number 2, you'll notice that you would get number 3 as well because it's indented 2 spaces over. And if you ever have any questions about how that works, you can simply click on the arrow here and notice how the cursor changes. When you click on that, it'll open up another window, and you can then come down here and look, and it's laid out with some information that basically tells you what is included and what's not included. I would also like to point out here how the quantity used field indicates how many parts are needed to be ordered. A lot of times people will ask, like for here number 19 is the spark plug, and a lot of people will say, well, is this price $3.14 for all 8? Well, the way that Mercury has this laid out is the quantity used field indicates how many of a particular part are used for an entire engine. So in this case, they're sold individually because it tells you you need to order 8. If it was a kit of 8, then it would say you would only need to order 1, and then it would be priced accordingly. So in this case, when you put your quantity of 8 in, you're going to have 8 at $3.14 each. And then another thing to point out is when you see the at followed by a number on a particular part, that indicates that Mercury packages them in that quantity. So for instance, if you came over here and you put a 6 in, when you go to check out, the system is going to tell you that you have to order those in quantities of 8. So you could order 8 or 16 or 24. Same thing, a lot of the lock washers and smaller fittings and stuff, they package like these nuts in 5s, so you have to order them in that particular quantity. At any point during the process while you're shopping, if you want to double check and see what parts you have in your cart, you can just go up here to the shopping cart button and select that, and that will bring you back to your shopping cart. You can look and see what parts you have. If you want to change any quantities, you can just select them right there and change the quantity in that field, and then we'll hit update, and that will update everything. Then you can go back in, enter your zip code, and get a fresh estimate for what it's going to cost with the different shipping options to your location. In this session, what we'd like to cover is how to search parts for your Mercury outboard or Mercruiser stern drive or inboard engine by using the model rather than the serial number. So from the home page here, you can go to the search by model and select that button. That will take you to the main Mercruiser parts and diagrams page. And then the first thing you'll notice is under the find your model, you'll take the top selection and then you'll select whether it's an outboard, an accessory, or Mercruiser. In this case, we're going to try to search out that same 5.7 liter Mercruiser. So we'll take the Mercruiser product line, and then under the category, it's broken down in here into stern drives and then the different engine families. So the 5.7 being a small block, we'll take small block V8 and then select show models. And then basically everything's in numerical order, so we'll just scroll down here until we get to 5.7 liter. And then once we get to 5.7 liter, we'll find the year model that meets the criteria for where we were at. It could be a carbureted engine versus a stern drive engine, or a fuel injected engine. So once you find the model that meets your criteria, you can select that serial range, and then basically you get back to the same alphabetical listing of diagrams. So you could go back to the section where you wanted to order the parts you were needing, enter your quantity into the field there, and then hit add to cart. And now if you were ready to check out, if you had all the parts added into your cart, you could simply hit go to checkout. If you already have been into the store and created an account, then basically you would just enter your username and password here and then log in. If you have not, or you've forgotten your password, you can hit forget your password, and it will email you an updated password. Then you can just come back here and update it, or you can simply hit create a new account, enter a username, password, confirm the password, and an email address. You'll receive an email with your account information. And then once you've done that, then it'll let you into the shopping cart where you can just follow the prompts, select your shipping method and payment method, and then proceed to checkout. And then you will get a follow-up email with your tracking number. We hope that this information is helpful to you. As with always, we're more than happy to help out with any technical questions. We have a very in-depth technical library, specifications for different engine models that has the Mercury Mercruiser product information, specifications, things of that nature is very in-depth. Oil requirements, fuel requirements, how to set timing, spark plugs, things of that nature. And then we have a very good technical library as well that will help you with questions related to cooling systems, installing closed cooling on old engines, through-hole installations, things of that nature, as well as general engine-related questions and so forth. And as always, if you get to a point where you need some additional help, you can always go up to the top here to the online support and click for help and get real-time technical support from a marine technician or engineer that's willing to help you out at the same time as well. So once again, we appreciate your business, and we look forward to dealing with you in the future.